Nikola Jokic is having another tremendous season. He's even better this year than he was last season. And last season, he won the MVP. But it feels like KD and Steph and DeRozan and the Bulls, and it feels like a lot of different teams and players are getting more attention than Jokic, even though he has been straight up spectacular. And maybe it's because he plays in a smaller market, maybe because he's just being overlooked right now, but this is our time to shine some light on what he's doing and how exceptional he's been. I, for one, did not know Denver would be this competitive. I thought having Murray basically out for the season, I thought MPJ would take that next leap, but he's been disappointing. And when he's played, he's injured right now. Maybe that injury was there before, and that's why he wasn't playing well. But Nikola Jokic right now has a 35 PER, the best all time. He's first in value added at 155. The second best player is Montrezl Harrell at 113. He's first in estimated wins added. Seventh in scoring at 26 a game. Second in rebounds at 14 a game. 16th in assists at 6.3 assists. The Nuggets are 9-6. Have a plus 29.9 point differential when Jokic is on the court. And his second best players are Will Barton, who's having a career season, Aaron Gordon, Monte Morris, and their best bench player has been Bones Holland and Jeff Green for the most part. And these aren't scrubs, but in a tough Western Conference, for you to be competitive with the roster that isn't the best, the supporting cast isn't the best, is exceptional. And I think Jokic deserves a lot of credit. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's and I think what it is Jokic, like you said, plays in a small market. He's not the flashiest. He's not the big fancy name. He's a guy who kind of flies under the radar, and that's what happens with players like that. They don't get the recognition. But the Jokic has been literally everything for that Denver team. He's been phenomenal for his standards on defense. Offensively, you know what he's going to do. He's going to be their best playmaker. He's going to be their best scorer. He's going to be their best rebounder. So he does everything for this team, and I think he should definitely be in that top 5 race in the MVP running. I think the reason I think why, he doesn't get as much love as DeMar, because the Bulls were trash last year, and obviously now they're not, so it looks a little different. And then Steph and KD are always going to get love because they have the resume. They're Steph and KD. So, but I think, the Jokic deserves to be in that conversation right now because of the fact that Denver being so hampered with injuries, he's still been able to keep them afloat, and that can he continue? I feel like he's gonna continue what he does. Him personally, he's gonna do what he does. Can they continue winning at this level? It's gonna be tough because, like we said, the West, everybody's floating in that 9, 6, 10, 7, 11, 6, 5, whatever that range. Everybody's floating. The Clippers, them. Portland's starting to pick up some steam a little bit. Memphis is starting to get some steam. Dallas is there. So everybody's floating. So it's going to be tough. But I think we should the league needs to be more vocal, and they need to be more spread out. They talk about the same thing every time, and they give love to the same people every time. They need to spread out. Guys like Donovan Mitchell in Utah, like the Joker in Denver, even Devin Booker in Phoenix, Rudy Gobert in Utah. Ja Morant in Memphis. It's very weird how Ja Morant's getting that love in Memphis and Nikola's not getting love in Denver. Memphis is just a smaller market as Denver, probably smaller. It's weird.
It just goes based off who's more exciting to watch. Obviously, Jokic, if you're a fan of the game, he plays meticulously. He's as borderline perfect as it gets for the big man. He can facilitate an offense. Very few bigs, if any, really are solid.
He's the best passing big man of all time.
That might be by far, yeah. No, that is a fact.
I don't think it's a debate.
And I'm an old head telling you that.
And I can't. But the fact that he does it so far and beyond every other center in the league, his rebounding, obviously his efficiency, his free throw, if I'm nitpicking, could be a little bit better, but it's in the 75%. So even as a big, that's still impressive. But it's not like he's not a flashy player, and that's why we see highlights from Ja Morant. That's why we see so much about LaMelo Ball, because they're high flying, they're doing behind the back passes, even though Jokic obviously is more than capable of that. But people don't see Jokic and think exciting, which for whatever reason. But if you're an actual basketball fan, you can appreciate the things that he does. You see that he is just so far above and beyond the rest of the guys at that position.
And it's weird because a lot of NBA fans don't think Jokic is a top 5 player, which is straight up ludicrous. He has an argument to be the best player in the NBA. You look at all the advanced statistics, he's leading in every single one by a large margin. When I made the video about Derrick Rose not being top 5 when he won the MVP in 2011, people in the comments were like, that's cool because Jokic is in top 5. The only players you can put over Jokic right now are Curry, KD, maybe Giannis.
They're probably neck and neck.
And Jokic. I mean, maybe Giannis and that's it. But Jokic is easily a top 5 player. And this year, my top 5 players, Steph is 1, Jokic is 2 for me. KD's 3, Giannis is 4, and 5 is Jimmy Butler. I think those are the top 5 players this year so far and how they've been playing this season. Easily top 5 for me.
Do you have the same top 5?
It's just hard for me to hear that. Obviously, LeBron's been out.
Oh,
but
my.
LeBron's not. Come on. And you know, it's funny because before the season, I was like, LeBron's not going to be a top 30 player. Even if LeBron was healthy, I'm not taking him.
Stop it. Like, LeBron
I'm not,
wasn't hooping.
No.
Come on now.
He wasn't playing better.
No,
than,
right now, no.
Jokic, I'm fine with that.
KD and Steph, he wasn't playing
Even
better
if
than
LeBron was healthy, he's not better than Steph. He's not better than KD. He's not better than Giannis. He's not better than Jokic right now. That's just a fact.
Relax.
That's just a fact. That's just a fact.
Here's the point.
It's easy to talk now when he's not
We're not
playing.
saying these guys, we're not saying they're universally better
I
than
understand
LeBron,
what you're
but
saying.
they were playing better than LeBron.
It's easy to talk now with LeBron not playing. I get it. I'm going to let you guys have this moment.
And I told you before the season that I was worried about LeBron because the past couple of seasons he's gotten hurt. His first year in LA, he got hurt. His second year in LA, the bubble happened. It helped him recover for the playoffs.
Enough of that. He was healthy. We'd just come off beating the Clippers and the Bucks, 2 of the most impressive wins of that season.
And then in year 3, going into Phoenix in the first round, he had an ankle injury. They lost in the first round. Now, this year, he's injured again. We're just finally seeing LeBron become mortal, and it's a rare sight for all of us, and we don't want to believe it. But LeBron just isn't. I think that, he's not a top 3 player in the league anymore. He's not.
I think that bubble break helped AD more than anything else.
Like, I'm fine with that because obviously AD is the more fragile of the two.
And y'all needed that because without him, y'all wasn't winning nothing.
I mean, LeBron was all world, so whatever you want to say.
I wasn't going to win with that. AD was all world.
Obviously, it was the 1-2 punch.
If AD wasn't just as good as LeBron,
if you take away a top 5 player in the NBA off a team, oh my God, they're going to lose. It's not surprising. But again, like I'm saying, I'm fine with
you know. It's funny.
Hold on, let me get my.
Okay.
I'm fine with your list for now.
I got PG over Jimmy, but that's biased.
I think Jimmy's been exceptional.
Jimmy has been.
I said biased.
No, Jimmy has been exceptional, and that's a fact. And that's why I'm fine with it for now. LeBron comes back tonight potentially. You guys can have your moment now for sure, but don't sleep on Bron. Obviously, he's LeBron James, and when he's been playing this season, he has been exceptional. The shooting has been exceptional. We just need him to come back, and we're going to have wins. And we've been unhealthy. I mean, no, but that has not. Giannis is. Who's saying anything about Giannis?
I mean, in that
Giannis got it. KD got it. Steph got it.
In that game,
but to say he's not top 5, that's a.
And
you
that
guys
Bucks,
can have that right now, but it's going to be ludicrous soon.
In that Bucks versus Lakers game, Giannis basically said, "AD, you can't check me." He dropped 50 and 10 on him.
He was really trying to he was going at him like every time he's seen him. Like, it was really funny.
It's been a tough season for me. It has been. But we're going to bounce back.
So is Joker in your top 5?
He's got to be. What's
his number? What's the ranking?
I would probably put him 4. I would say I'm not in any order for the 3. You got Steph, KD, Giannis. I think Jokic is 4. I can't put Jokic over Giannis. He just came off a championship, had 50 in a game-winning game. In a series closing game in the NBA Finals. He was exceptional.
Yeah, one of the worst offenses of all time.
You're saying Milwaukee?
Of teams that won the championship, they had one of the worst offenses of all time.
Okay, that has nothing to do with Giannis.
I'm just saying this. Even though Giannis won a championship, there is still a question mark of whether he can be your lead offensive engine on a championship team.
Not for me. You could have
Can Joker, though, be that?
Yes.
Because it hasn't been answered.
Bro, has he hit a Western Conference Finals?
Yes.
Yeah, in the bubble against you guys.
Oh, you're 100% right.
Hell?
I forgot that the Clippers
and
choked like that.
That series would have been
right.
that series would have went to 7 if it wasn't for AD hitting that game.
It was 5. They lost in 5.
Yeah, maybe 6. I don't know.
No, there was a lot of close games in that series though.
Well, because they lost because ultimately the better team won. But you stretched
the Nuggets were flaming hot. They were one of the hottest teams in the NBA, and we scolded them in 5.
Listen, defensively, the Bucks were one of the best teams ever.
No doubt. But Giannis had 50 offensively, in game 6 to close out the series.
I get it. And that's what we look at, but we don't look at the totality. Their offense was very mid throughout the playoffs. It just was. That's what it was.
Defense carried them.
They're a defensive team.
But if it wasn't for a lot of luck that played into their way, they're not.
But I'm not thinking too much about that, especially with Giannis still averaging a minimum of 28 basically the entire.
And I'm not saying that luck doesn't play into championships, because it doesn't. PJ Tucker, when he was interviewed by JJ Redick, he said, "I didn't realize how much luck played into a championship until I went to Milwaukee."
Yeah.
Because in Houston, CP3 got injured. Then in Milwaukee, when we're facing Atlanta and Giannis goes out, I'm having flashbacks, and he's like, but then he came back. There's a lot of luck that goes into that.
I'm not talking about just a championship. I'm talking about his play. Are we not gonna give him the benefit of the doubt that he played exceptional? Because that's all I care about.
He played exceptional,
That's
and
it.
I'm not doubting that. But if you're talking about Giannis and Jokic, you can say Giannis has a championship, so he's better.
That's not necessarily what I'm saying.
Jokic offensively is on a different level than Giannis,
and defensively, it's not even close.
You're right.
So so if we're splitting hairs on offense,
It's like the same thing. Offensively,
but the reason
it's
why
not close, I'm going
what
Giannis.
took Bucks over the top is Drew Holiday in the Tucker edition,
for sure.
And Chris Middleton played
They're
an all NBA
they're a better
player.
team than the Nuggets, and that's
fine. Way better.
But I'm just saying, in terms of player versus player,
if this is what I have to say.
I'm taking Giannis.
If Steph Curry or LeBron were winning the way Jokic is winning with this current Denver Nuggets roster, we're giving them ultimate praise. I mean, last year, Steph Curry was winning with Wiggins and Draymond, which is a better supporting cast than what Jokic has right now. Curry didn't even make the playoffs, and he finished second in MVP voting. That's how much we recognize Curry.
He was
if that was Jokic with a similar roster, he doesn't even get considered.
But we've spoken about when Steph was on the court.
All right,
yeah.
To be fair,
seed.
statistically, when Steph jumped off the court, they were the worst team in NBA history.
What about Jokic?
That's a good point.